When Barry and Honey Sherman, two of the wealthiest people in Canada, were found dead, surely the police leapt into action and a swift, tight investigation ensued, leaving no question as to what happened.
Jeff, have you not been paying attention to this show? That's not at all what happened.
Great. We are previewing the no good, terribly kind, wonderful lives and tragic deaths of Barry and Honey Sherman.
That's on this episode of So Much Crime,
So Little Time. Welcome to So Much Crime, So Little Time. I am Jeff.
And I'm Dee. And in this episode, we'll introduce you to the no good, terribly kind, wonderful lives and tragic deaths of Barry and Honey Sherman from CBC and Lionsgate Sound.
If you haven't listened to this show, that's great. This is one of our
Did you not want to read
episodes.
it all again?
No, I did not.
Here we only discuss episode 1 and introduce the series. No spoilers for what's to come.
You'll also find a link to this podcast in our show notes.
In our next episode, we'll discuss the whole series. But right now, we just want to decide if this is a crime that's worth your time.
All right,
Doo-doo.
Wait, hang on. Let me say it.
Oh, sorry.
Before we get into
It's been
talking
so
about...
long.
A little rusty coming off the summer. Before we get into talking about the story, let us hop in the time machine.
Hello.
So, this crime scene was discovered on December 15th, 2017 in Toronto, Canada. So, going back to 2017, going back to Canada, places we've been before. Just for our listeners, we did go back to this same week in December of 2017. Way back for, do you remember what it was?
Was it the, it was a recent one. It was.
No, it was a while ago. It was a host we talked to.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. It's the one that I can't remember the name of, but it was season 2, the music teacher.
The band teacher. That was Toronto. So that was when we were in Toronto. That was recent, and that was a host we spoke with. Yes, Julie Ireton.
Oh, sorry. But you're just saying the date.
The date. Yeah, we actually did a crime that took place on December 12th, 2017. So just a few days before. This was a long time ago. It was one of the first guests we had on our show. Do you want a hint?
Was it, fuck.
I thought you might get that off that clue.
Yeah,
it's a host that
I know.
you were very excited about. It's one of your new best friends.
I know.
She's going to be real mad if she's listening.
I know, Liz Flock.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of the show?
Blind
Plea. Yeah. Blind
Plea.
You got that.
Oh, yeah,
You
of
got
course,
that.
because of the blind plea. Oh, my God, yeah. I'm so sorry, Liz Flock.
All right, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first thing I have is a handful of trivia questions. So last time we talked about Toronto, I went to TripAdvisor and got the top restaurant. And I don't know if you remember this. This was a place called Casa Madera. And the review we read was about someone's first anniversary being spoiled at the restaurant. You had opinions at the time.
Oh, my God.
You remember
I
this.
do remember this. I was only thinking about this recently.
Okay.
This
Well,
person had notions.
Yes. Yes, that's right. But anyway, we're not going to revisit that. We're going to do something else in Toronto. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I looked up the number one tourist or one of the top tourist attractions in Toronto. Have you been to Toronto?
Nope. Never been to Canada.
Okay.
Well, I've
Oh.
been to Niagara Falls, but like from Buffalo, like we just drove over, saw it, and like came back. So I don't think that counts. Does it count?
Okay, Canada's great. No, I've never been to Toronto, but I've been to other cities. But I knew that one of the top places, or one of the most iconic things in Toronto is the CN Tower. Are you familiar with the CN Tower?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a handful of trivia questions of different types. First one, basic one, CN Tower. What does CN stand for? I didn't know.
Canada Network.
It's close. Canadian National. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway.
Like TV, radio?
It's actually a train, like a shipping company, I believe. But it was built
Why do
as
they
like
need a
basically like
tower?
I don't know. We're going to get into some other things that don't have anything to do with that.
Stop asking
I did
me
limited
questions.
research.
Okay. Okay. I love it. It's like when you're like, is it based on a true story? I'm like, fuck if I know.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. So it opened in 1976 and was at the time the tallest freestanding tower. And I did go down a little bit of a rabbit hole that there's a difference between tallest building, tallest freestanding tower. different classifications of tall things built on the planet. But anyway, at the time, it was the tallest freestanding tower until what surpassed it? Do you know what the tallest freestanding tower is now?
In the world.
In the world, not Canada.
When
And it's not in Canada.
when did it no longer become the tallest freestanding tower?
2009.
What makes it a tower and not like a building?
I don't know. I don't remember. I do actually have that tab open, I can tell you. Okay, so there are self-supporting towers, that's what this is. There's skyscrapers, there's oil platforms, there's electricity transmission towers, and bridge support towers, and they're all organized by height. So there's the world's tallest structures, which includes all of them. But I think a skyscraper is like an office building, and a tower isn't really built for that. It's more built, like this is built as like an antenna at the end of the day, even though it has like elevators up to the top and you can go touristy things, which I'm going to ask you about. Anyway.
Is it in Japan?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Burj Khalifa in Dubai.
I was thinking that, but then I was literally going to say that, but I thought that was a building.
But you didn't say that. And that
well, I said it in my head.
Okay, but you didn't say it out loud, which is what counts. This is a podcast.
But is it not the tallest building?
In your head cast. I'm just telling you what Wikipedia says.
Sorry.
So
this whole thing is not called an In My Head cast.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been missing that episode 139, and I've just realized it's not all about me.
That's be called a sauna cast.
Is the Burj Khalifa not like a building? You can't like work in it?
I think I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I do know that the Burj Khalifa is 2,000.
Skyscraper.
Whatever. We're here now. Let's keep going.
Okay, but I was thinking that.
I have more things for you.
Okay. Sorry. Calm down.
All right.
But I was right.
CN Tower, 1,815 feet tall. Burj Khalifa, by the way, 23 feet. But for the CN Tower, how many stairs do you think it takes to get to the top?
Can you climb stairs to get to the top?
You can. People do.
I'm not going to be good at this.
815 feet tall.
I don't
That's a
know
clue.
feet. 815 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, 815 divided by 6 is like...
Oh,
why are you looking at me like that?
Because that would mean that a stair is like 2 inches tall.
No, that's not where I'm going. You calm down.
Okay.
So it's 240? 240. So it's 240 pawls ish. And it would probably take about like 4 steps to climb up a pawl.
I'm going to give this to you. You're way off.
Okay, so I'm going to say 954.
1,776.
Okay, it wasn't that far off.
Okay.
If you had given me a little more time, I think I would have got there, but you're rushing me.
If you go 113 stories up, there is a glass floor you can stand on.
Fuck, I hate the idea of this.
To ensure safety.
My idea
it is rated to withstand the weight of a certain number of Canadian animals. What animal unit of measurement do you think they use?
Oh my God. I don't... Moose is meese.
Yeah. Moose. The moose. How many moose?
Meese.
And
Mises.
Whatever.
Mooses.
Do you think that this glass floor is rated to withstand the weight of? I'm going to give you over-under. Over, higher or lower than 10?
Higher.
Yeah. Higher or lower than 20?
Higher.
Yeah, that's right. Higher or lower than 30?
Lower.
No, it's 35. 35 moose.
I was thinking 25. Meese.
Yeah. Yeah. That's which, if you haven't seen a moose is real big. It's bigger than a horse. Okay. Fun fact.
I actually like the idea of standing on that, like, makes me feel sick.
So I did this at the, what used to be the Sears Tower, is now called the Willis Tower in Chicago, only through peer pressure and bullying from coworkers. And it was absolutely horrifying. one of my colleagues went out and sat down like on her butt on the glass floor. And I was like, oh, hell no. Anyway, this will make you feel better. This is a multiple choice question. At the top of the CN Tower, there is the highest what in the entire world? A, wine cellar, B, parking spot, or C, live moose?
Wine cellar.
Yeah, there's a wine cellar 1,151 feet up, which is the highest wine cellar.
Did
in
you
the world.
put in live moose and thought you were hilarious after the one before?
Yeah, you laughed. It worked. I am hilarious.
That was funny.
All right,
The
true or
car
false?
space was also very funny. Like, how would the car get up there?
How would the moose get up there? Take the steps.
I mean,
All
yeah, exactly.
right, true or
Stop
false
for a
question.
sit down on the glass floor. Go on.
True or false? A Canadian group that tracks bird deaths in Toronto once counted as many as 250 bird deaths in just one night from birds hitting the CN Tower and dying.
250.
Yeah, true or false?
False. Too high.
You're right. The actual number, you want to guess?
189.
That's a lot of birds. 100. The actual number is 100. 100 birds in one night hit the tower and died. All right. Last thing I just want to mention is not really a trivia question. It's just a would you do this? I know the answer to this, but I just want to tell you about it. So I told you about the glass floor. Another thing they have is called the edge walk. And the way this is described on their website, which...
Is this the thing that goes like this? The tilt?
No, that's safer. You're 116 stories. So these things are at different levels. This is 116 stories above Toronto. All that's holding on to you is a harness. And you're walking on a 1.5 meter grate. And you can just walk around the tower. You can lean over the edge and the harness will hold you from falling to your death. Would you ever consider doing this?
I don't think I can go on with this episode tonight.
All right, that's my last. All right, my last thing.
Would you?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. No. Never. All right, I have a song for you.
Like
This is real
roller
quick.
coasters, for fuck's sake.
When we did this before, I brought you the number 1, number 2 songs. Number 1 song, and this week in December 2017 was Post Malone, a song called Rockstar. Number 2 song was a song that I'm going to say and hope you don't immediately start singing, called Havana.
Havana, na, na, na.
Yeah, see, I knew you were going to do that. All right. I'm going to jump down to the number 5 song. This is a song that peaked at number 4. I want to see if you can guess what it is. It only got to number 18 in Ireland. Where were you in 2017? Were you in Ireland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got married that year.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You should know this.
Yeah.
You were there.
I was there.
All right. 2 quick clips from reviews. The Guardian described this song as irresistible, hiccuping, electro pop, a tune that could sit equally happily.
Hiccuping.
Hiccuping, electro pop. It could sit equally happily in a set by Pink or Rihanna. It's not Pink or Rihanna. And then Billboard described it as relatively stripped down, and between its soldierly cadence and a bouncy, helium-inflated one-word hook, it makes for a curious pop gem. And the video features, this is my tie-in, the Burj Khalifa. In the video, apparently, I have not watched it, the singer of the song is singing and dancing among people dressed as extraterrestrials in Dubai. Okay, I have the first verse, but any guesses?
No.
All right, here's the first verse.
Is
I
it a
think you know
Canadian
this.
singer?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
some people are Canadian, I don't know. Here's the first verse. Just a young gun with
Just
a quick
young
fuse.
gun with a quick fuse. This is Imagine Dragons.
Yes, it is.
My kids
name of that
are
song?
obsessed with this band.
I know. Do you want me to keep going, or do you think you know the name?
Hold on. Oh, fuck. I don't know.
I was
'Cause
uptight,
you said it was,
Well-
yeah.
let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things and want to leave my own life behind.
Who do you think you are?
Not a yes, sir. Not a follower. Fit the box. Fit the mold. Have a seat in the foyer, take a number. I was lightning.
You were thunder. You were thunder. So funny. There was a thunderstorm when we were away on holidays, and there was a conversation of, does lightning come before thunder? And my daughter, who is 5, was like, yeah, because in the song it says, lightning for the thunder, before the thunder. And I was like, I mean, at least they're teaching there's something.
It's educational, Imagine Dragons. All right, that was our time machine for today.
Amazing.
Let us let us move on. Dee, I was thinking of spending money to fly to Toronto, to go out on the CN Tower and either stand on the glass floor or hang by a harness over the edge on the side of the building, 100 and something stories up. But then I thought, that money would be better spent supporting a podcast like So Much Crime So Little Time. And so instead of risking my life to go do something kind of dumb, I went to patreon.com/so much crime so little time. And no, there were no death-defying thrills, but there was bonus content. There were outtakes. There was early release episode, which is basically like standing on the edge of a giant tower looking out at Canada. Same
but much
thing.
Cheaper.
Really. Much, much cheaper.
And if you have in fact done that, don't let Jeff put you off. Don't be offended by him. He causes offense quite often. Let's just focus on the fact that you've done that. You're a thrill seeker. Come and find your thrills. Get your kicks elsewhere. Get them in a safe environment on patreon.com/so much crime, so little time. Thanks.
All right, so this podcast.
Okay. Jeff, honestly, I know you wrote the script, so you probably could do this. I'm not looking at it right now, but hand on my heart, I have no fucking idea what it's called. I'm like, who named this? It's too long. It's too long. It's something about the good, and then the bad, and then the rich, and then the Shermans. But
no good, terribly kind, wonderful lives and tragic deaths of Barry and Honey Sherman. You say it fast enough. It rolls off the tongue. Okay, let's quickly run down what this is. Can you close your eyes
and say it? Like, are you able to remember it?
No, I
can't.
You? Every time I can't. Every time I have to look back at it on the script.
Every time, so I a couple of times when I went to start it on Spotify, I had to go back into your message to when you sent it to me because my kids' Imagine Dragons stuff was all over the place, or my music, or whatever. I had to go in and I was like, I can't even search for this. I actually have I don't know where to begin.
It's the least sticky, longest, most cumbersome name of any podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just rattle off real quick. So it came out in 2023, put out by CBC and Lionsgate Sound. Our host is Kathleen Goldhar. There are 8 episodes. They're roughly 30 minutes each. And I tried to write a quick summary of what happens in this first episode, but it got long.
Oof. Okay. Let me run through it real quick. Okay. December 2017, as we discussed in our time machine, a billionaire Canadian pharma giant, Barry Sherman, and his philanthropist wife, Honey, are found dead in their home in a really bizarrely staged scene. So they were by an indoor pool, seated, clothed, both with belts around their necks. We learned that they were posed just like a sculpture that they owned. So in the podcast, we start off by hearing from Leo, who's actually the sculpture's artist. And we also hear from a maintenance man who wants to remain anonymous. He was in the house the morning the Shermans were found, working right near their bodies, but never entered the room. We also hear from Mark Mendelsohn, who was a homicide detective, and he has opinions about this case. The police initially basically said to everyone it was a murder-suicide, which was wild given they both had belts around their neck. Just that part alone, the staging of the bodies, there was so many clear-cut aspects that was weird. But the Sherman's children hired a lawyer and an investigator and said the police basically failed to investigate this properly. Then we get actor Saul Rubinek, am I saying that right? Reading the writings of Barry Sherman, which was a interesting pivot slash insight into maybe Barry Sherman's mindset and his intellect and maybe his opinion of himself. So by the end of the episodes, by the end of episode 1, this is all in episode 1. It's all in 33 minutes with ads. It sounds like there are a lot of theories, a lot of conspiracies, but no clear answers. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, what else is there to say? That's
so much. I mean, do we just end it now? That's it. That's all we have to say. Is that what you're saying?
I want to say a few things. I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
So I listened to this twice, and the second time I listened to it, it hit me as weird that the opening of this show is talking to Leo, the artist. I feel like it spent a lot of time with him for that to not be hugely important. Like, what did you think of that as the place to start?
Yeah, it was definitely odd. It was a bit like a hook, but maybe it was an odd hook. It was, a synonym for odd as unique. It's a unique hook. Sure. We could also say it was noted that numerous people had said, crack why the bodies were staged that way and you'll crack the case. So it does feel like if the police didn't clear the scene properly, pick up evidence, collect things in the manner that they should have, maybe the staged bodies is one of the only safe and preserved pieces of evidence that we have.
Maybe. I also think it's weird to have these bodies staged like this artwork, but the artwork itself, I feel like, is noteworthy and odd. Like, these are life-size sculptures of humans.
So I haven't seen the picture yet.
Okay. Do you have a guess as to what this scene looks like?
Look, in my head, it sounded like the Tin Man from Alice in Wonderland. Oh, you just did a thing and now I can see legs. Are they colorful?
Yeah, they're colorful. Yeah, and we'll post this on Instagram, but they're, I think this is like a living room or something. It's on like these speakers, just up against the wall. It's this seated man and woman. And when we heard from the artist, I noticed this the second time I listened to it, he's talking about how he sort of collects things like objects. And I think this is what he uses to build his sculptures. And that's what these appear to be made from. Like, they're very colorful, but it's a man and a woman. They're life-size, like they're human-sized. Just sort of sitting there with, one with their legs folded next to each other. And then this is the way that the bodies were posed by the pool in the actual crime scene. So I don't know, like, having these sculptures, I mean, whatever, it's art. If it's art that you're into, that's fine. Seems super strange. This is strange. I'm really curious to hear if we're going to get more from this artist, just because, like, what's his take on this whole thing? Has anyone else ever posed bodies like artwork that he did? Have you heard of something like this? Yeah,
it is. It's pretty strange. And it was quite unique. It feels like something in a TV show, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it's
it
like an episode of
feels
Monk.
like the plot point. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's an interesting point. I hadn't actually considered how bizarre that opening was. But yeah, hopefully they do come back to it, because it was mentioned numerous times.
Right. And also good get on the podcast for getting the artist to talk to the show. I feel like that was true throughout this first episode. I mean, Saul Rubinek too. Like, Saul Rubinek was one of those people who's like, I don't know him by name, but when I Googled him, I was like, oh yeah, this guy has been in 1,000 TV shows. He's had a bunch of bit parts in movies, some of which I've seen. He's a very familiar face. And yeah, I'm looking at the transcript. Saul Rubinek is a Canadian actor, best known for his roles on TV shows like Hunters and Frasier and films like Unforgiven and True Romance. He's also Jewish. And like Honey, his parents were Holocaust survivors. He even looks a bit like Barry. And then that's kind of his introduction.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. I'm curious to hear.
Come here. What did you make about, like, the police not caring about rich people dying? That was a big change as well, wasn't it?
In a way, that's the most startling thing.
Isn't it? Like, because we've heard this story a gazillion times about the average Joe or the drug addict or the sex worker.
Yeah.
You know, or the homeless person. But we haven't heard it at all about a rich person, have we?
And not just a rich person. These were two of the richest people in Canada. I think they were like the fifth richest couple, and like also some of the richest people in all of like North America. Like these were extremely wealthy people. And the fact that the police like botched this from the start, it seems, and
but botched
really,
it like real bad. Not like, oh, we were trying and we did a bad job. Like, tell me your eyes were open when you made a determination that this was a murder-suicide.
So what I was thinking about as I was listening to this was In the Dark, how we talked about within the Dark, the Jacob Wetterling case.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a stretch of that podcast where they just talked about how, and this is talking about the U.S. and this is Canada. I know it's different countries, but just kind of how bad the police are sort of collectively as a whole at their job. I'm maybe summarizing that a little too succinctly, but like that was the takeaway. Like by and large, police are bad at solving crimes. And it's sort of like, refreshing's not the right word, but the fact that this happens with the super
Other
rich.
countries? Oh, yeah.
Well, no, I guess also other countries. I don't know. Like my impression of Canada is that they sort of have their shit together more than the US does, but maybe not.
Yeah, I just thought, I do think that is an interesting component, which I feel a little bit, I'm really leaning into the true crime, you know, fan base there being like, well, if it's this type of person, it's fine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the telling of a story where we're just seeing a fuck up of this magnitude. It really does actually, because they were so rich and so well known and like so embedded in the community, it actually does make me think there is something larger here, more of a conspiracy going on than just a fuck up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really think about that, but it's almost like, and I guess, so we've been talking about how much they sort of screwed this up from the beginning, but one detail that I think the first episode really focused on was this maintenance man who doesn't want his name to be out there, so he wanted to stay anonymous, and the fact that he was in the house, he noticed things were different. He noticed things were strange, and he was in the room next to where the bodies were. He didn't see the bodies. But the fact that, what do you say, 6 weeks, something like that went by before the police even talked to him.
Weeks.
Yeah.
And his employer rang the police to be like, hey, we were there that day. This is the guy's name. He goes there all the time. He noticed these things. He didn't go into that room because he never does. You should talk to him. And he was probably shitting it because like this is the kind of thing that you would put on the maintenance man.
Yeah, for sure. He had access. Mm-hmm. He potentially had motivation. Like he could have gotten rich off of this somehow. And so yeah, this is the kind of thing that makes me think like, was there a conspiracy? Like were the police in on it, conspiring to keep this from being like the real killer being found out? I don't know. It's a good question. We don't really get that hinted at too directly in this episode, though. I think that's more like your conjecture than anything really said. Like there's conspiracy theories alluded to that mention like the Clintons and stuff like that. But I feel like the host sort of shrugs it all off.
And it's like, no, Hillary alibied out.
Right. Yeah, Hillary didn't.
Hillary's brought in to fucking every conspiracy. Yeah, there was one comment made, can't remember who was by, towards the end, basically saying, you know, the police didn't come out and say anything and all these conspiracy theories came out because nature abhors a vacuum. And I was like, does it? Like, isn't this one of the reasons why like celebrities or whatever are told, or like a convicted person is told, don't speak? Don't speak out. Say nothing. Because if you say something in public, people will tear what you say apart. If you say nothing, like they are going to conspire. They are going to decide. They are going to come up with their own theories, regardless.
Yes.
So say nothing and we'll fix it.
I think that's true, but I also think the sort of opposite is true of particularly in something so as high profile as this. As potentially high profile as this. I think when you don't say anything here, that's when like people are going to fill that vacuum with conspiracy theories. And particularly because what they do say is so outlandish and so obviously, from what we know, not true.
Yeah, I think I disagree. I feel like if they had said nothing and focused on doing the investigation correctly and as accurately but as efficiently as possible and got actual facts out, that would have been one thing. But like, it's not what they did.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Children when they said that like their father like murdered their mother and then like also shot himself, and they're like, that didn't happen.
I mean, that also, like, the number of times we've heard about families having to sort of hire their own investigator, have a second autopsy, basically do the police work that the police aren't doing well or that they don't agree with. That seems to happen a lot, doesn't it? We've heard about that quite a few times.
And what it shows you again is the money. The money gets you
they can afford to. They can afford to. What do you think? One last question I had for you. Did you think at any point that this was being handled more maybe flippantly because they are so rich? Like, was there sort of a lack of reverence for two people being potentially murdered here?
Oh, that's a really good question. I actually hadn't considered. I think now that you say it, probably.
Like even the title of the show that neither one of us can remember. The No Good, Terribly Kind, Wonderful Lives and Tragic Deaths. Like the that title itself is sort of jokey. And yeah, to your point about the children, like imagine being like that was your parents at the end of that title.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, it kind of goes back to like a long time ago. We did like a crime capsule or a crime battle, I can't remember, on the case in Campbell. Do you remember that really old case in Campbell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Crime capsule? Was that what it was called?
Crime capsule, yeah.
So one of the things that we spoke about there was like, and we interviewed the host who is...
Ben Morris, yeah.
We interviewed Ben Morris, and one of the things we brought up was like, do you feel like you have a bit of like ability to kind of be a little bit less maybe sensitive to things because it happened so long ago? And he was kind of saying like, yeah, but like also like, you know, yeah, the likelihood of like the closeness of the relations that still live on like is slimmer, but there's still that fact, and we still have to be respectful of the fact that these are people at the end of the day. And like, yeah, like I actually think that's a really good point that you made. I think that there was like an element of like a jovial kind of side to things and the questioning, and even the whole COVID like thing, and like, oh, we're gonna leave that here. Like, I don't know. Even with the like playing of Barry Sherman's voice and like readings, I didn't get that. Like, was that just an insight into his intellect? Like, okay, cool. He's a smart guy who thinks a lot of himself and like wants to do shit with the world. I don't know. I didn't quite get what we were trying to do there.
Yeah, I wondered that too. I actually didn't like why did that have to be here? What purpose did that serve? It was sort of interesting, but honestly, it felt like maybe the least relevant, useful part of this first episode. Like, I think hearing from the artist was more interesting just because that seems like that's going to be somewhat notable, but maybe not also. Like, was that just sort of like a goofy aside?
Maybe we'll hear more about like his Barry Sherman's work, and maybe we'll kind of understand him as a person and understand his intellect and his mind frame a little bit more, and maybe that'll kind of show us or connect to some of the theories that will play out here. And maybe it'll turn out to be interesting. But I just was a little bit confused about where we were going with that.
How eager are you to keep listening?
I mean, I do wish they hadn't said we didn't start this out to solve it, because it feels like it's not solved.
Right.
And like, I kind of love when things are solved.
Yeah, no, that's it's gonna be. Does that make you not want to keep going?
No. But I definitely need, like, I
But you have a
followed it
problem.
now.
Like you have a disease. Like you.
I followed it now, so I have the ability to find it. But like, my God, like there's no chance in a week's time. Like I can't even remember it now, and I listened to it twice today. And I saw the name, and you read the name twice, and I still couldn't remember it.
The no good, terribly kind. That's all I got. Now I'm looking at the script. Wonderful lives and tragic deaths. Wonderful lives and tragic deaths. I remember Barry and Honey Sherman. Like Honey, you don't meet a lot of people named Honey. Also, we don't know who Honey is. We don't know anything about Honey. We heard about Barry. What about Honey? Maybe we'll get more
we
of that
heard
as it
that
goes.
Honey was like, what was the way she was described? Particular, or the maintenance man was like very much like, she's very like whatever. And I was like, no, I don't like this. Like, oh, so Barry's like, I don't know. It felt a little bit like, okay, so Barry is an intellect and like he's a strong man, and that's like great. But Honey like deals with the maintenance man around the house, and she's very straight to the point, and you have to have an answer for her as if that's a negative. And I'm like, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of saying the same thing here, but like one is bad and one is good. I also, can we take a moment to appreciate the maintenance man being like, I want to stay anonymous, but also I was there that morning. So anyone who knows anything knows who he is. Second of all, he's like, I want to like be covert. And then he arrives in like a bright green or bright yellow car. And then there's like a microphone and they're like the only people there. I was just like, this is kind of gas.
Kathleen Goldhar says, it's going to be pretty hard not to draw any attention. This man has pulled up in a neon-colored Sprinter van, and I have a microphone in his face, even before he's out of the truck. More than the bright vehicle and our recording equipment, we stand out because we're practically the only people on the street. So, yeah, like he wants to be anonymous, but otherwise not subtle.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I am curious about this. It's just, I feel like this is a different story than one we've covered before.
Mm.
I have some apprehension about it, but I don't know. So we've done a lot of CBC podcasts, and I feel like they've delivered pretty well.
They have. Can you identify one theory? I want you to pull a theory out of your head right now that has not been discussed yet, that you think will come up.
Like that I personally think might be true?
I don't know. Pull one out of your head, hat. You've got loads of hats there. Grab a hat. Pull a theory out.
All right, I'm putting on my theory hat.
Okay.
I think
it's like a weird, like Santa Claus.
It's a Denver Broncos Santa Claus hat. It is orange and navy. I'm going to say, I don't think this was about taking their money. I think this was a statement. I think this was a statement killing that was in some way tied to the pharma industry.
Interesting.
I guess that was kind of said in the podcast, the COVID thing, but...
No, I think that's interesting. I wonder, does the men's belts around their neck have anything to do with that?
But like staging a crime scene, you don't stage a crime scene in like a crime of like passion, heat of the moment, right? Like that's something you're very deliberate
planned
about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you have a theory?
I mean, obviously one of the theories going on in my head is like someone was having some sort of affair. And then I'm like, would this be that? Maybe they were both like having an affair with a person.
Oh,
and then this is the pill wasn't used. Maybe it was, but it was just used for a different purpose that other people didn't know about.
Also, who has an indoor pool and doesn't use it?
I know, right? It has the money to like maintain it. Or maybe one of them was selling information. Like apparently he was up against and like fought against big pharma because he was into like generic drugs, from what I understand about how it works. He was producing the generic drugs, which is cheaper to the public, and big pharma weren't happy about it. So maybe there was like something there. Maybe he was trying to buy information from someone and it was found out.
That's interesting. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like a potential. I don't know. Like, there's so many theories. I'm sure so many of them could be right. Like, I don't know.
All right.
Maybe it's someone that's just pissed off about the fact that they've wasted money. Like, this sculpture could have cost so much money. And maybe it's someone who is like, you wouldn't do this thing for me, but you'd spend this much money on the sculpture. So kill them, pose them as a sculpture, and are like, go fuck yourself. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's no need for the go fuck yourself there.
Okay. All right. I guess we gotta keep listening to find out.
I could go on all day with theories. What are your theories? Let us know what your theories are about this case. We'd love to hear. Let us know on Instagram. And also leave us a comment and rate this episode. We'd love to hear how you're feeling. Give us the feedback.
Next time. So if it wasn't a murder-suicide, what did happen?
Did the police turn around the investigation? And why did someone kill this couple?
We're recapping all of the no good, terribly kind, wonderful lives, and tragic deaths of Barry and Honey Sherman.
And we will not remember the name of it. But that's on the next So Much Crime,
So Little Time.
So Much Crime, So Little Time is a production of MimeGov Media. The executive producer is Paxton Calariso. Our associate producer is Blythe Ty. Theme music was composed by Vyacheslav Starostin. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to this show in your podcast app. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and a review. Even better, tell your friends. To join the discussion, look for us on social media. Check out the show notes for all the links. Thanks for listening.